The story begins with a man named Evan, who grew up in a small town. He's always heard strange stories about Westbrook Elementary School, a once thriving school that had mysteriously closed down in the 1980s after a tragic incident. It was said that the school had seen more than just the usual accidents, but no one ever explained what truly happened. Feeling curious and bored one night, Evan decides to explore the abandoned school, thinking the rumors are just that, stories. But soon he learns he was wrong. Evan enters the school through a side door that creaks open slowly. His flashlight reveals a long, desolate hallway. Lockers are hanging off their hinges, the ceiling tiles sagging, and debris scattered all over the floor. The further he walks, the more he feels like he's being watched. But when he turns around, nothing's there. Only the oppressive silence of the empty hallway. But just as he begins to convince himself that it's just his nerves, a distant creak echoes down the corridor. He stumbles into a decaying classroom where the desks are dusty and overturned. The blackboard still has faint chalk writing on it. Class dismissed. There's an unsettling vibe in the room, as if the students had left in a hurry. His eyes are drawn to a child's drawing stuck to the wall, showing a crude figure with no face, just an outline. The air in the room feels thick, like something's lingering, watching him from the dark corners. Needing fresh air, Evan exits into the playground outside. It's raining, and the rusty swings creak in the wind. There's a sense of sadness here, as though the children once filled the place with laughter, but now it's eerily still. He turns toward the jungle gym where something or someone seems to move just out of sight. He approaches cautiously, but it's empty. The cold rain begins to soak through his jacket, adding to the chill that runs down his spine. Seeking shelter, Evan re-enters the building and finds himself in the gymnasium. The banners, once bright and colorful, are tattered and hanging from the rafters. Dust floats in the dim light. Evan notices something odd about the floor. It's covered in deep scratches, almost as if something large had been dragged across it. The air is cold, and as he looks toward the bleachers, he swears he sees movement. Just for a second. But the gym is empty, or so he thinks. Next, he stumbles upon the library. Shelves full of forgotten books loom over him, some scattered on the floor. A strange breeze brushes past him, though none of the windows are open. One particular book lies open on a desk. The page reads, "It sees you." He feels a rush of cold air, as though something brushed against his back. And in the dark corners, there's the faintest whisper, too quiet to make out the words. Heart pounding, Evan hurries out of the room. Evan finds the principal's office, but the scene inside is eerie. The furniture is overturned, papers scattered across the floor, and the window is shattered. A strange odor hangs in the air. On the desk, a letter remains, yellowed with age. As Evan reads it, he realizes it's a formal complaint. Parents expressing concern about strange behavior from the children before the school was shut down. His heart races as a loud crash echoes from somewhere deeper in the building. Evan hesitates but descends to the basement, where the floor is flooded with murky water. The air feels heavy with moisture, and every step echoes ominously. Pipes drip steadily from the ceiling, and as he walks further in, strange symbols are scratched into the walls. The atmosphere is suffocating, and Evan swears he hears faint voices murmuring in the distance. Suddenly, something splashes in the water behind him. He spins around, but there's nothing there. Just the dark. Evan stumbles into the science lab, his flashlight flickering as he moves through the eerie space. Beakers and test tubes lie shattered on the floor, and an overturned desk blocks his path. There are strange stains, dark and dried on the floor, and as he investigates, his light catches something. An old journal filled with the scribblings of a teacher. They detail strange occurrences, children disappearing, only to return days later, different. Before Evan can read more, he hears a loud crash from the hallway. Terrified, Evan makes his way outside again, hoping the fresh air will calm him. The once maintained schoolyard is now overgrown with dead grass and thick vines. He feels like he's being swallowed by the wild, and even the trees seem ominous. The distant wail of a storm approaches. He notices an old hopscotch game drawn on the pavement, but the numbers are wrong, scrambled in a way that makes his skin crawl. A soft whisper on the wind calls his name. Evan is drawn back inside, finding himself in the school's bathroom. It's in ruins. The mirrors are cracked, and dark stains cover the floor and walls. He approaches one of the mirrors, and as his reflection flickers, something appears behind him. A dark figure with no face. He spins around, but there's no one there. The door slams shut on its own, and the sound of heavy breathing fills the room, though Evan is completely alone. Or is he? Finally, Evan finds himself in the school auditorium. The stage is empty, but the spotlight flickers on, casting a dim glow across the dusty chairs. Something is wrong here. He feels it deep in his bones. As he steps onto the stage, his foot hits something. A book, the same one from the library. This time, it's open to a new page. "You shouldn't have come here." Just as he reads the words, the auditorium door slams shut and the lights go out completely. Evan tries to run, but the hallways twist and turn in ways that make no sense, leading him to a staircase that looks as though it's been abandoned for years. It's collapsed in places, broken and covered in strange markings. Desperate, Evan descends, hoping to find a way out, but as he reaches the bottom, he hears a voice, soft, barely audible. "You'll never leave." Evan's flashlight flickers and dies. The darkness swallows him whole. Over the years, it was said that Westbrook was cursed, that the spirits of the lost children, and perhaps something even older and darker, still lingered there, waiting. If you enjoy the video and want more creepy stories, please hit like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. That's all for today. Thank you, and have a nice day.